So Turn, for those of you who are not familiar with Turn, is a platform technology provider to those digital advertising decision makers and campaign planners across Global 2000 brands and leading advertising agencies. Our mission stays the same throughout the last few years, which is to deliver the most effective, data-driven digital advertising in the world. So what is data-driven digital advertising? Advertising, as we know, is a form of communication used to persuade an audience to take some action with respect to products, ideas, or services. In essence, advertising is about audience. It's really about connecting your brand with your audience, developing a relationship with that audience, and ultimately being able to expand that audience over time.
Audience targeting is growing very fast. We are seeing anywhere from 30 to 40% of the media plans being audience targeted, and it is only bound to grow more.
And if you're talking about audiences, audiences are about data online. And as you can see, there are all of these different data sources and tons of data that's out there. You've got psychographic, you've got demographic, you've got user interest, you've got user intent. You've got first party, you've got third party, you've got display, you've got video, and so on and so on. So there is a ton out there, but it gets more complex than that because all of this data is siloed. And a great example of the siloed data is offline data, where you might have first party and CRM data, is completely separate from your digital advertising data.
Really optimize a campaign and get the highest yield out of your marketing budget, you got to use a combination of online and offline data. Online data represents activity maybe that occurs on your website, retargeting being the best example of that. Offline data, in terms of like data that Experian can provide, can really enhance that campaign in terms of understanding a lot more about your audience, taking in transactional data maybe from an offline transaction, or demographic data or lifestyle data, and that really can enhance and improve. I mean, we're seeing like 200-300 times improvement in a campaign based on combining those two data sets.
So if you're marketing in the United States, there are over 200 million adult consumers of different products and services. And then when you analyze those folks, there's once again that different psychographic data, that demographic data. When you add up all of those hundreds of characteristics across those 200 million adult consumers, you're talking about over 1 trillion audience characteristics and attributes that a marketer's got to understand to build their brand and to grow their audience.
I think what we're trying to do, and I think what is key, and what I do think brand marketers really can benefit from this wealth of data when we can translate it better, is, if I'm Pepsi with a whole portfolio of products, I do want to better understand when to serve the Pepsi Max ad, when to serve Mountain Dew, when to serve Diet Pepsi, and that can be done when you have a lot more granular, in-depth data, but that can still be translated back to their core target segments.
When you market, your consumer can be anywhere. They can be looking at display or video or mobile or email or television, and all of these audiences are siloed. If you're a marketer, it's difficult to figure out how do you coordinate your message across all of these different device types or channel types when there are different ways to do campaigns and there's different ways to measure campaigns as well.
It really comes down to the measurement capability. I mean, about 50% of our business is DR, and about 50% is what we would call typical brand advertisers. And it's because the data that we have, the purchase data that we have, allows you to see what is the offline lift from an online ad. And so there are companies that have been doing that in the past with panels and so forth, and Yahoo and Nielsen have built a really nice business around that. But when you have just a difference of scale of 30, 40, 50 million active cookies, and you can do that kind of thing, it's game changing for a lot of brand advertisers, especially kind of in auto, financial services, and CPG, where you can really measure the offline impact.
So if you're a marketer today swimming in this data as you're trying to connect your brand with your audience, I think there are 4 fundamental questions you have to be able to answer to be effective in marketing. The first is, what data do I have? And frankly, do you know where it is? Secondly, who is the right audience or audiences for your brand? And third, once you know that, what media should you use to find and connect with that audience? And then fourth, which has really been the holy grail of marketing all the way back to the John Wanamaker days of the mid-1800s, is how should you allocate your marketing budget and how do you do so effectively? At the end of the day, without going through all the technical knowledge that some folks in the audience know, at the end of the day, it's about connecting a brand with their audience, wherever their audience is, or put more simply in and hopefully a good marketing tagline, connecting with your audiences everywhere. We see three core benefits to the Turn audience platform. One is to discover the right audiences for your brands in a simple, easy way, not this complex, disparate way. Two, marketers will intelligently plan across different channels and different devices. And third, marketers will know where to spend their marketing dollars. As a marketer, you want to have a holistic view of your customer. Your customer may go in stores, your customers get catalogs, your customers also do things online. So it's hard to have that holistic view of your customer unless the data and that audience information is centralized. So the first thing that the platform does, of course, is centralize both your offline and online data.
I think offline and online data can work very well together. Offline data is very valuable for driving sales and impact that resonates with the CMO. Online data can show that more mechanically, but when you blend the two, it's a holy grail for marketers today.
Once you're a marketer and you've decided and designed what your audience is, you want to, of course, be able to expand your audience. When you get the Turn audience platform, you simply click on your browser, log into our system. You can easily design an audience, but then we have all of these great best-of-breed data providers that you can see what their data is, what it looks like, and are those audience types that can help you augment or expand your audience and your brand.
All marketers should embrace their data and then leverage it for audience targeting, insights that it might glean for respects of online marketing. They can either leverage their first-party data to really empower their consumers and engage those consumers, or leverage third-party data providers to pull back smarter analytics based off of online profiles to create better and more efficient marketing campaigns.
The next thing in this multimodal world is to be able to intelligently plan across different channels and different devices. So you want to have a true measure of what your audience is. So what you're able to do is, as you design each audience type, the system, literally with a click of a button, enables you to determine what your reach is for that particular audience type. The second thing you're able to do then is you can take those different audiences and then synchronize them with your favorite or preferred media channel provider and really reach your customers or your audience across all of these different types of devices and channels: display, video, mobile, email, and television. Then this is the holy grail of marketing, is to be able to know where to spend your marketing dollars. So one of the crazy things, of course, in our digital advertising landscape is this whole thing of last click attribution, that is only that last click that matters and is recorded, and that determines the success of an ad campaign or ad network. And what is really cool, I think, about the Turn audience platform is it makes a very well thought approach to multi-touch attribution, that you're able to determine how the performances of your campaign for each of those marketing steps, not just the last click. Once you're able to do that, then you can go ahead and optimize your media budget based on the channel and the allocations. And what's really cool about the system is we want to make all of this stuff simple, so it's all algorithmically based. The algorithm will let you know when you check in how successful your campaign is, and the system will actually go ahead and make recommendations for you about how successfully you're optimizing that campaign. Of course, as the expert, you can choose to go ahead and override that. And what we're really excited about, and there's many folks in the room, is that we are have developed the industry's first true open ecosystem. So you'll see lots of best-of-breed vendors and partners of ours. You'll see a great list of audience data partners, CRM onboarders. That's super important to get that off-sided CRM data on the system, as well as different publishers and media channel providers that you can once again look at and integrate and see on a single screen. This is what the Turn audience platform is all about. We feel we are solving very significant challenges for marketers and taking a complex, disparate world and making it really easy, really browser-based for the marketer to connect audiences with their brand.
What Turn actually provides us is the ability to link our offline data and our online data together into one singular platform and apply that to media transactions, whether that's for targeting or measurement. And it's a really simple user interface, and it's really makes it easy for us to apply our data online.